While everyone out there is out watching Hunger Games, I'm here at home watching a real good movie. I'm watching Terminator 2 on Blu-ray and feeling like a total badass doing it. Now, the plot of Terminator 2 can be summed up to this. John Connor sends a reprogrammed Terminator back to 1994 to protect a younger version of himself. At the same time, Skynet sends an advanced prototype of a T-1000, which basically can take all types of damage, can be shot, blown up, cut to pieces, and he simply regenerates. Now, during that time, the Terminator actually helps John rescue his mom Sarah from a mental hospital, and together they venture to destroy the origins of Skynet and therefore prevent the war. Now, despite how I feel about James Cameron's Avatar, I'm happy to say that that man can go to his grave knowing that he made one of, if not the greatest action sci-fi movie series, or at least 1 and 2, I can't really count 3 or 4, movie sequels of all time, Terminator 2. Now, this movie is starring Arnold Schwarzenegger as the Terminator, as he played the bad one in the first one, but now he's playing a good one in this one. Robert Patrick as the T-1000, who's quite possibly one of the coolest villains. I would even put him up there with Heath Ledger's Joker and Linda Hamilton as Sarah Connor. She was kind of a waitress in the first one and didn't really have much of a fighting spirit, but it looks like between times of Terminators 1 and 2, it seems like she's grown some toughness to her. Now, the action in this movie is fucking insane. We have several set pieces throughout this movie. You get to see 5 minutes of the future war. You get a badass car chase, or should I say truck motorcycle chase near the beginning of the movie. You get a breakout. Trust me, it's a cool breakout from a mental hospital. You also get to see them destroy just a computer building. One hell of a car chase when the T-1000 is chasing them in a truck full of just liquid nitrogen, and a final confrontation in a steel factory. And even for 1991, these action scenes were well past their time. Trust me, in the 15 years that I have really been able to pay attention to movies, trust me, most of these action scenes beat a lot of action scenes that are done even today, because most action scenes are done with CG. And trust me, CG will never be able to top practical effects. Now, going a little off topic and getting a little personal about this movie, it's probably safe to say, as I said in my episode of The People's Questions, that this is probably the first rated R movie I ever saw growing up. And I'm glad to say that I've actually been on the Universal Studios ride at least 3 times. And trust me, I don't want them to ever tear that ride down. Now, really, my favorite scene in this whole movie has to be the ending. Now, I know that as a guy, it's not really permitted for guys to cry out in public, but I'm glad to say that out of all movies in the history of movies, past, present, and future, the ending of Terminator 2 is quite possibly one of the few endings in all of movies where a grown man can cry and still feel like a man. I have cried to that ending at least 3 times in the last 15 years, and I did it with pride. Now, even more important than this being one of the few movies that a grown man can cry, the overall message and really the transformation of the Terminator is really something you just don't see in movies today. The fact that a killing machine, a being that sole purpose was to kill humans, can actually learn the value of human life better than even us humans can is just an amazing transformation. By the end, you feel like the Terminator has like a soul. So it's just heartbreaking to see that he is willing to sacrifice himself to see humanity have a chance to survive. I mean, What type of ending do you think can match that? I can't think of any. There's just not enough good things. Everything about this movie is perfect. There's not one bad scene, one bad line of dialogue, not one bad cut. This movie is perfect. The very definition of perfection. Timeless perfection. That is why it is my great pleasure to give this movie a 10 out of 10. A must see. If you have not seen this movie, what the hell are you doing watching this review? Get your ass up or download it illegally. I don't care. This is definitely a movie you need to see before you die. Now, if you like this review, please like, comment down below, and subscribe. And like always, as the great Terminator would say, I'll be back. See you later.